Hi, everyone. It's a privilege to be doing this. My name is Solomon Awushukwi. I'm an analytical consultant on the sales team at Google, and I'm very excited for the privilege to be doing this today. Once again, happy International Women's Day to all you women. I'm a very strong advocate for women, and I strongly believe in the power of what women can do to change the status of our society in present days and in the especially in these uncertain times. So at Google, what I do is basically supporting businesses and our internal teams to make data-driven decisions. So basically, all I do is analyzing data, making sense of that, and providing inference as to how businesses should make decisions, beneficial decisions. And prior to this, um, I started my tech journey in 2013 as a Goose ambassador while in the university, and which was a 1 year program where students served as liaisons in the university and Google. And after that, in 2014, I moved on to start the very first Google developer group team on campus. So at GGX University, which I aired for about 2 years. And moving on from there, I worked for an agency briefly as a data analyst and then joined Google to become a program manager for our developer training program, what's popularly known as the Android learning community or the Andela learning community, which trained about 30,000 Africans across about 10 countries in Africa up until 2019 when I left the program and joined the sales team as a data analyst, supporting our business in the region across Africa. Like I said, it's a privilege to be here today and to share with you how to position yourself for future opportunities. And I'll be switching quickly to my slides. Let me pull that up quickly. Okay, so if you can see my screen, um, so yes, positioning yourself for opportunities. And what does this mean? Um, like I said, I mean, looking through my story, you would see I'd been someone who had been, you know, involved in the community, who had been taking up opportunities, learning, and contributing to the community in whichever way I could, and that's basically shaped my career journey up until this time. Without further ado, I would just like to begin by saying, with a popular saying from Whitney M. Young, who said that it's better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than to have an opportunity and not be prepared. And that could also be, like similar to the popular adage that says opportunity meets preparation, right? So for every opportunity we all or you all would continue to aspire to, um, there has to be some form of preparation that prepares you for that. And in today's session, I'll be showing you a few tips that have worked for me, and I'll tie that back to my story and show you at different points how this has played in my own career journey. Stay tuned. So the first point is being curious. So be curious, right? And be curious in this context is um, within your community or wherever you find yourself, try to be that guy that is trying to identify a need or a problem and attempting to solving it, right? So try to identify a problem or a need within your community and attempt at solving it. And this for me started um, when I initially volunteered to be a Gustin ambassador. Started the program at a time where students basically acquired skills, following the traditional approach of learning, coming to lecture halls, taking courses, taking notes, going back home to study. Basically, there was very little or no use of technology in that entire process. And as a Gustin ambassador, one of the skills we acquired was understanding how we could leverage Google tools, including from search to Google Plus that used to exist, which is now being discontinued, to Blogger, to sites, to Drive, to basically research and do academic work, basically. And for me, starting as a GSA, the need then was I had this exposure that the outside world required people who had very good understanding of how to leverage technologies, right, in doing their day to day, and this was currently lacking, right. I took this forward to the vice chancellor, whom at the time I met, courtesy of my role as a Goose ambassador, to challenge, his notion of setting the school up to be a world-class university, as at the time in Nigeria. And approaching him, I told him similar. I mean, I basically pitched the idea of, helping every student understand how they could leverage online tools to better their academics and their career. And he was interested in it. In fact, approved some budgets to that effect, and I was able to organize events, bringing students together, to help them acquire the skills, be much more exposed to this. And I think for me, that was a point where I went from understanding there's a need to actually solving a particular problem. I think another scenario that I would like to paint quickly was after my GSA program, when I went and studied good developer group community on campus. There were students who were studying geography and planning science. A lot of them have been approaching me from my time as a GSA, to see how they could, understand and play with Google Maps, Google Earth, map, contribute to Google Maps and all of that. And the first thing I did, starting a GDG, which was a technology group, or basically a group that was supposed to help aspiring developers or existing developers grow their skills, was to see how I could solve that initial problem before moving on to teach people how to code. Because for me, I felt there was a need to help solve the initial need. Because most of the students actually approached me during this time were final year students who were basically leaving the university to start their career. And this was very, very important for them to basically start off as students, or as start off in their career. So it was really, really important to help the students understand this and then gradually work them to building for the platform, or building for Android, or building for the web, to learn software. Because first there was a need, and that needed to be solved before moving on to train them on every other stack of knowledge, which I think was a very interesting attribute. So I think what I would like to say is, wherever you find yourself, as in your classroom, in any community you find yourself, in any company or you find yourself, in any volunteer role you find yourself, just learn to be curious. Be that guy that actually tries to question the norm, to ask the why question. Why is it currently done this way? How can we change this? What can we improve about this process? And how can we solve this problem? This will go a long way in helping you set yourself up for skills that would bring opportunities closer to you as time goes on. Because, so like in my own case, as an example, a lot of these challenges I identified and sought for were stories I had to tell during the application process for other career opportunities. I was growing up my career, right? I got the opportunity to intern at Google in 2015 as a industry analyst intern, and some of the skills, some of the problems I solved as a student on campus were the stories I told my recruiters, and basically, helped get the role. So that's one thing. First thing is being curious. Now, the second thing that we're talking about today is being an autodidactic, like being an autodidact, right? Basically, and what is an autodidact, or who's an autodidact? Basically, an autodidact is a self-taught person, right? And I can mention more than 50 or more persons I've met who are doing very well in technology, in different fields of life, who have been autodidacts. In fact, I think most of the most successful people in the world are autodidacts. An example you would know or you might have heard of is Bill Gates. He reads a lot. He set up himself through through some major part of his career, Similar story you'll see for a lot of popular people you know in our society today, who are top software engineers. An example is Femi Taiwo. There's a colleague of mine at Google, popularly known as Toki. There is the likes of Chimdi Nduaneke, a friend of mine when I was for Facebook. All of these guys were people who only understood, I mean, who saw the opportunity and decided to take up the challenge of learning and acquiring new skills, right? So maybe a classical example, now this maybe relates back to me or to my story and my journey so far. Um, as you must have seen, I started off as a Boost ambassador. And while I started off in that role, I was studying computer science. And the role I was in did not require a lot of computer science skills, right? It was more people management, it was more people relations, it was more soft skills as opposed to hard skills, right? And it was more email writing, it was more writing letters to the school, writing proposals, and taking up that challenge of doing those things and learning how to do those things as one of the things that actually helped me. That helped build relationship with university, helped build relationship with medical directors of state hospitals in my state as of the time. And also, while I'm talking about soft skills, from email writing to presentation skills, one of the skills you cannot you actually need that would set you up for success is hard skills. Example of hard skills are the ones we're all trying to learn, which includes software engineering, which could be so software engineering is an example, graphics design is an example, and there are a lot of other examples. So basically, hard skills that basically are required to get work done in a way, one way or the other. While soft skills are those things you need to actually function well and be able to integrate into a company's culture in any way, right? And these are the two skills you need to learn. So bureaucratic, try to find content. You don't need to wait. You might learn a lot of things in school, courtesy of the kind of school you find yourself, or you can actually go ahead to resources online, read up articles to acquire the skills. The third thing, which I always like to mention, which is very, very instrumental, I would say was one of the most instrumental part of my career, is being part of a community. And I would say, when you're part of a community, it's not just about being part of a community. It's about following the ABC of being part of a community. The ABC, acquire skills while you're part of that community, right? Acquire skills, right? In most of the communities you find yourself, maybe an example is the Developers Learning Clubs program. Um, you would be engaged in learning, software engineering, cloud computing, machine learning, and all of that. Pick up one of those skills and like go deep on it. Learn how to do it. If you're interested in software engineering, it's fine. You can look at creative skills. You can look at digital, like digital advertising. You can look at graphic design. You can look at being part of the management team of that community. So learning management, learning program management. For me, I started off as a Ghost ambassador, learning management. Moved on to lead a GDG, and because of leading the GDG, I achieved a couple of feats that were very, very important to my bosses, to the program managers at Google at the time, um, and all of these skills were things I was basically just trying to and like striving to learn, right? I learned how to engage with the team and I learned the practical of doing that because I was basically doing this every day. I was speaking every day. Prior to becoming a GDG manager, I was a very shy person. I would never speak to a crowd. But through the program, I saw myself speaking to students, speaking to leaders and engaging them in things I was very, very confident about and I knew so well. So that kind of skills you would learn being by man. So that's one of the key factors or the key things I would say. When you're part of the community, learn to acquire skills. Follow the ABC, acquire skills. The B in the ABC is being involved. So be involved. Don't be that guy that just comes for meetups and goes back home, or that lady that shows up only when there are swags to be distributed or gift items. Be involved. Try to network for every meetup. Make it a point to meet one or two or three persons that you've never known before to learn about what they do, to learn about the skills they have, and see how you can collaborate with them in the future. And this goes a long way because by being involved, you learn and you you can potentially even meet with your future co-founders potentially. You can meet with your future referee who would refer you for opportunities, for job opportunities, for roles, for scholarships, and the likes. So this is very, very crucial. In fact, you can actually meet a mentor by networking and by connecting with the group, by being involved. Offer your hands up to train because you learn how to face the crowd more, to be much more confident. What kind of skills you would gain by being involved in the community. I think the final part is communicating. Like communicate what you do when you're part of a community. If you only volunteer to be a treasurer in a community, an example, write an article. Tell us what you learned. Tell us, share with other people what you learned being part of that. You don't never know who would read up your article. You don't know where your article would end up while it's being shared online, right? And that may actually be one of the key factors that would lead to your next big opportunity. Like the other keys I shared, I'd like to tell the story of how this also impacted me and my career, you know, to date. So um, I started off as a Ghost Ambassador, which was a community of students who were serving as liaisons to their university and Google, and then moved on to be a manager for a Google developer group, which is another community, a bigger community, a global community, right? Similar to the GSA program. And I started off as a member actually. So I would go back a bit to go back to like just go back to when I started off as a Goose Ambassador. As a Goose Ambassador, prior to my becoming a Goose Ambassador for my university, I served under the tenure of a previous of two previous Goose Ambassador on the campus, namely Muide Boko and Tawoshi Olamide. And during this time, one of my lecturers just reached out to me and asked if I wanted to be part of the then Google team, as was called on campus. And while I was part of the community, I didn't fully come to grasp with what I was supposed to do, what was required of me. For me, it was just more about the interest of being part of that community of people that was going to change the world, right? And just continue to learn and grow and learn. Understood how to use Google Docs, right? Such that when the next circle for Google's ambassador application came up, the current GSA could refer me. I was able to complete a lot of the questions that came up during the process, and I got to the program. Another thing again the community has helped me to do. My first role at Google basically was as a result of my activity as a Google developer group manager, right? I had hosted multiple events. I had one of the biggest events in Southwest Nigeria at some point, hosting about 600 students on our campus, getting the university to support, getting some funding. It was a whole lot of work, but it was worth it. And prior to that, I'd hosted a study jams that ensured that it was a 3-day boot camp. And by the end of the 3-day boot camp, the students that went through that program were skilled enough to get jobs, right? All of those were fit and achieved by being part of the community. I would never have gained this experience. I would never have learned how to do this if I were not part of the community. All right. So this and a few other things, and the grace of God and a lot of other things, contributed to my next career move. So I left school, and just a few months afterwards, after working for a bit with a digital advertising agency, I got a call, and got an opportunity to join Google as a contract staff for a bit, and which metamorphosed into my full-time opportunity down the line. So that's one thing. Like being part of the community is really, really crucial to your journey, and following the ABCs could go a long way in helping you. The final piece I'd like to share on this is being known for something. So be known for something. Don't be part of this community. Don't just engage in this community. Don't just come for events. Don't just read and do stuff. Write articles. Contribute to open source. Make videos. Be known for something specific. Like be known for one thing. If there is anything at all, if you're part of a developer group and you can code, maybe be the graphics guy, the go-to graphics guy, and let that be something you're known for. Can write articles about how you painstakingly went through the process of developing, amazing graphics for an event that happened recently, or all of those are very, very important. Or maybe how you affected somebody, you invited somebody to part of your community, and the person after a year or two had moved on to get some big opportunities, tell those story, right? If you're a coder, contribute to open source. Have some codes on GitHub, have some things on GitHub. It just shows how much of those skills you actually have, right? If you've learned to be a content creator during the journey, make videos. Have stuff on YouTube that just showcases what you know. An example for me, I was a code developer group manager. I didn't really enjoy coding. I could code, but I didn't really enjoy coding. I enjoyed managing people. But right, I went as far as developing videos for my event. So I would get people to record clips of what the event looks like. And I'll sit down by myself and edit these videos to and put them on YouTube to showcase what we're doing as a community. And posting this content, I mean, it goes along with like after doing the big work of writing them, of making the content, post them, share them, get friends to reshare and share and share, and until it gets to, I mean, like until it gets anywhere you can get to in the world. Like basically, just keep sharing. Anyway, these are the four pieces I was looking to share around positioning yourself for opportunities and getting ready to take up future opportunities. I hope this impacts somebody. I think one thing I would like to end with is now is the time. Go for that opportunity. There is no tomorrow. Go back to your resume. There are a lot of resume samples online. If you're a recent graduate, a one-page resume is just perfect. You don't need a five-page resume. Just something simple that tells the actual impact you've made. Being part of a community, you helped to train X number of people, and this was the impact of that. List those things. Those are things that will go a long way to get you that big opportunity you need. If you're still a developer and you've create a lot of apps here and there, list them, put links to GitHub to showcase what this actually look like. Again, now is the time. Go for it. Thank you very much. If there are any questions, please send them to the organizer. I would find a way to get all of that and maybe respond in a different video or in email to you. It was nice chatting with you and talking you through this session. Until next time, take care. Bye bye.